let's start talking about 4 ways to get your wishes fulfilled. For any of you who are into the law of attraction or in the the spiritual community, you already know this guy, right? Wayne Dyer, Dr. Wayne Dyer. Sadly, he passed away. Um, but I remember when I was waking up and then I was watching one of his video on Tao Te Ching. It's based upon was it philosophy, and I was watching. It's pretty good, and I agree with what he said. The one that get me the most is that too many of the parents think that they uh, can think that to control the kid, but technically your kids will go out into the world and develop their own life and develop their own children and kids, right? And we try to own them, but they're their own, their unique person, and they have different personality, and we try to control their destiny based upon our own selfish needs, right? I mean, that's why I think about it when he said how I interpret it. So before I actually do the give you the four what he gives in this great book that I highly recommend that you read if you already have not read it. I picked it up and I was like, oh wow, I wish I read this, but it's pretty good. And I was talking to my brother, right, and we were talking about how that essentially people, I'm talking about the general population of the masses, think that this ideas about manifestation and the law of attraction our thoughts are energies, or thoughts are wave that connect with the universe, or that this book and within these pages are vibrating at a frequency, or this laptop, or the wall are vibrating, and it seemed foreign to these people. Well, I was like, and most people who come into this are skeptical, and it's like they question, does it really work? And if it doesn't, either they say it's a scam or it's it's of the devil. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna explain it to the audience what this is. So essentially, all these teachings about the higher self, karma, chakra, um, uh, all these philosophies then came from the Western world. It actually came from the Eastern world. I actually checked it because I keep going bypass why most of the world we hear about yoga, about we use yoga, guru. All these words are essentially came from the East, not from the West, right? The the Eastern world, I think also like the kung fu um, world know about the essence of energy, or they call it chi. That we have a inner inner energy that we can release. That's why most of the kung fu masters try to achieve the body of the notion about feeling their energies and trying to release it. It's and the higher self is actually came from Hinduism or deeper. That's why in the chakras, I looked it up. It's actually a word in Sanskrit for spinning wheels of energies. We are all energy, right? So it's what is said in the old Eastern world. They already knew about our intuition, our and our whole body is energy. They are already knew that, but you know, the Western world think it's preposterous that we can manifest the thing that we want. But the thing is, it seemed like preposterous. It's just people are scared of the secret. People. I think that people are scared and feared of the unknown, of what the people are feared. Fear. It's always that. It's always been that way because of humans don't like to change. When we disrupt change, we fear. Like if we bring in back in the old days, they never actually have the big screens where we watch movies. Where if we and it's like For instance, if a cell phone is brought back to the past of the 1900s, it will be of the devil, and people will, like, say things, and it's like, oh, it's a witchcraft. But most people are using witchcraft. So witchcraft, people get scared of witchcraft. Witchcraft isn't scary in essence. Witchcraft is just using nature energy. We are in essence part of nature, so that makes sense, right? And so why I would say this, well, it's because I dive deep a little bit, not too much, because I like other things to study. Because there's always more to learn to grow as an individual of consciousness. I was listening to Teal Swan. I mean, Teal, yeah, that's her name, Teal Swan, right? And how to increase vibration. And she was talking about how to, people are in, when they are in low vibration, they're in low consciousness, low awareness. It's the same thing as if you have very limited perception, you're going to attract that based upon what you see with the world. Meaning that when you see the world based upon what everybody else sees, based on social proof is based upon what everybody else does. People think it might be the right thing, but it might not be the right thing. So because it's safe and it's secure, so it's already been done. Because the other way, it's not have been done. It's scary. It's fearful, and they might fail, and might not work out. So the whole teaching of this is that the whole teaching of the law of attraction and all these books are teaching you to be brave, to have courage within yourself, to stand within yourself and say, this is what I want, this is what I desire, and I want to bring forth into this world. Because I think that if we can bring ourselves to that state of, even if we're fearful, we can bring beautiful things into this world, even if people think it's crazy. This is what he said in the book. Even when people criticize, people say this idea about manifestation is weird. It does not matter if it's weird or not. It matters if it's working or not in your life. So let's get to it. I'm probably going to go deep into the Eastern philosophy later. I mean, it's all basically Eastern philosophy. Like every thing we learn from law of attraction is based upon Eastern. Even if they bring, science together now, talking about science, we already know that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, right? All right, so in his chapter here, where I just take out just four things that you can bring out your desire, your wishes to come to fruition, to be able to manifest the thing that you always wanted, whether it seemed crazy to the other person, whether it seemed ridiculous to your family, your friends, your peers. See, the thing is, your friends, your peers say these things because they have fear within them. They have fear of the new idea that's clashing with their new idea is clashing with their old system of way of seeing the world. Everything that we give awareness to, explain, people have fear because they already have inside their head that these ideas may not work, because they already so used to the idea of what's already working or may not working in their life, because they're comfortable. We are not fearful of what is familiar with us. So if someone who have the same language as us, same culture, we're not fearful of them. But if we're different culture, it's like this. The reason why I like Vietnamese food, because I was raised to eat Vietnamese food. But if I try, well, because Chinese, everybody like Chinese food, right? Some not, some do, but it's universal. But if I go to another country and I have not tried, that's what most people think. It's because of risk, right, involved, because it's new, and you don't want to, you want to, it's survival mode, and you wouldn't essentially try that food unless you're brave enough to taste it. Then you will. But most people are afraid to try that, so they go to what is familiar because it's safe. So today I ask of you, my viewers, people who are into the law of attraction, be brave enough to say within yourself that you do want this, and know that will be people who say that it doesn't work. You know, forget those people. I mean, not forget them, but don't. There are so the first wish is fulfilled foundation. He had second, third, and fourth, right? So he talked about using your imagination, live from the end, filling it, and your attention, please. From living from the end. So I'm going to talk about that. So let's talk about number one, using your imagination. I think that I always say that people or school always never use imagination. They have to agree, but they never they use it the wrong way. What I mean is they worry. That's they're using the wrong way. Fear. They're using. I disagree with people who say if we have fear, we'll attract fear. I think that fear are good for you because let me explain. Why is fear good for you? Well, you can do two things with that fear. You can let that fear stop you, or you can face that fear and move towards that fear and face it. So people will choose number one instead of number two because essentially fear are scary. If you step outside of what is familiar, it's scary because it's uncomfortable. It's outside of your comfort zone. And what I'm trying to teach in this always video is about this. Get outside of your comfort zone. It doesn't have to be big, but for me, I always try to big so I can destroy the myth anyway. That's just me, because I don't. For me, I look back. I believe that I looked forward in life, like 10 years from now, or maybe 30, 40, 40 years from now, or 50, and I was like, should I be waiting to do either the interview or to do my dream later or now? A lot of people they're afraid to do it because if they keep procrastinating, they will never arrive. People procrastinate, but they never arrive for one thing or another because they're afraid. I was listening to, a lot of adults have fear, and adults have because they have circumstances, tragedy in their life that cause them to have fear, and I know that. And I have that on my own, and I still have to face it every single day. My fear of doing the thing that I need to do, and I'm fearful. Uh, and uh, some nights I get fearful, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know, man, I don't know. But I still face it because I keep saying I don't know how it's gonna happen. That's what some of my fears sometimes like the past years I have achieved some of the stuff or some of the thing that I want to do and interview that's come true. But I have to keep going and face my fear head on. So I think I live from the fear feeling and your attention, please. So he's talking about the greatest gift you were ever given was the gift of your imagination. With within your magical inner realm is the capacity to have all your wishes fulfilled. You can have your wish fulfilled. Here in your imagination lies in the greatest power you will ever know. Look around. Everything you can experience with your senses was once someone's imagination. I think that every law of attraction book talks about how everything around us was once in someone else's thoughts, imagination. They create it in their mind, and then they perform in the physical world, like the 3D world that we live in, and they create that thing. I think that we're here to create the lifestyle that we want, whatever that means to you. I think that's if you come here to either want to attract something of a higher nature, you have to give up something of a lower nature. So, a lot of people don't want to give up a lot of things because they're too comfortable with that lifestyle. I have to give up. For me, I have to give up something to receive a higher nature. That means taking the time to work on myself to be able to purify, well, not purify, to be able to, because I'm human. I make mistakes. I'm not God. I'm not a God. Well, in this book, he talk about you are God. Now, I know most people think that's ridiculous, but it isn't. Right? Bob Proctor said God is creation. So we are the miniature of God. In the Bible says we are made of the image of God. So we're here to create, not in not the way people wanted us to create, because we're creating all the time, but we're creating the wrong way, or we're creating something that we truly do not want. Let me tell you, people always, since people have fear, they create things based upon what else someone else's ideas of how they should create their life, right? And I mean, that's the way that, well, ultimately, you will not be happy with that life because you didn't choose it. I think humans are more happier when they get to choose their own will, their own creation that they create. They put forth the time and effort to create the thing that they want to create, right? And I think that people are essentially happy with the product or the thing they manifest because they did it themselves and they see it with them. What I'm trying to say is, I think that people are unhappy when they are creating a lifestyle that they do not want. It's based upon to please the other person or to do something that the other person wants them to do. So many people are trapped by that dogma, the limitation that people have, and I think that essentially all these knowledge that we have will limits us in some degree unless we always grow. There's a limitation within the law of attraction community. There's a limitation. I think that essentially we have to evolve because I'm still learning. I think that's why people feel uncomfortable hearing all these ideas because it's been it's the same thing. They have been programmed to listen to the law of attraction community so long that it makes them feel good, right? But I'm here to tell you that if you keep doing what you have been doing, you're going to get the same results no matter what. Even if you're trying to do the same and you're expecting the different results, you got to do something that you never done before in order to get the result that you never had before. That's why, I mean, think about it. If I were to wait for a author to say yes or author to or physical evidence that it's going to work out, like to interview, I would not do it. Like think about it. That's what most people wait for the evidence to come, right? Like think about it. If I wait for all the authors to somehow come to my to do interview, I would waiting for probably next year. See, the thing is, I do the fear. I you know that's why I don't wait. I ask. I'm not afraid to ask. What I'm afraid of living a life that I don't want. I'm glad that I do interviews. I'm glad because after I went through it, I get more experience. I'm grateful for those people. They're one of those wonderful people that it gave me a sense of experience, a sense of level of awareness because I didn't have mistakes while doing the interview, and I was like, oh my god. So, in order for something to get into this world, the thing exists are proved as Blake saying, they must first be placed firmly into your imagination. Henry Thoreau, Henry David Thoreau said, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Be willing to dream and imagine yourself being all that you wish to be. If you live from those imaginations, the universe will align with you in bringing all that you wish for and even more than you imagine when you are living at an ordinary level of consciousness. So I wrote down we've been using our imagination wrong. I think that instead of using our imagination and creating the life that we want, it's because we're using it wrong. What I'm saying is this. we always say, I don't like this event. I don't want this event to happen. Why does this event happen to me? Oh my God, I don't like this. Well, first of all, we have the amazing gift to use our imagination. But what are we doing with it? We're poisoning our imagination with thought that create fear, same as me, and create event that we don't want. We always take the focus on that which we don't want, instead of we should focus to give attention to which we do want, right? Think about it. We always, because I think that people like negativity, but in actuality they don't like it because they're living in it. So instead of taking your focus on that, how like people always say, whatever you focus on expand. You know, it's old, right? What I'm trying to say is, not only does it you focus, it actually you embody the, because whatever you give it, it's just like, okay, let me give an example. Let's say I focus on reading the law of attraction and studying the law of attraction. The subject will circle around me and go into my experiences because I focus on it. But the reason why I focus, why it come to my experiences, is based upon I also embody it, so that also increases my vibration, and it go out to the universe, and it's cause and effect. First the vibration and the attraction come together, and it create my experiences. We can create our own experience based upon how what we choose to focus on. If you choose to focus on the negativity, on the bad event, things will come to you. But if you focus on what you do want, things will come to your experiences, and you create new ones. Essentially, that's really hard for people because they have to retrain their mind to think, because the thing that you want is intangible. You can't touch it, right? So let me give you an example. We are programmed or trained to see the physical world, physical thing, right? And that in order to create the lifestyle we want, we have to see it. So people see the results first, and then they take that mind and then recreate it in their mind, and then they create the result that people want. So what I'm trying to say is we have to look at it differently. For me, let's give an example. Do I see? Let's say if forget all the, because I have all the videos about, I have interview about 16 expert 16 expert in their field authors, best-selling author, entrepreneurs. Let's say if I didn't have those videos, if I didn't do those interviews, and what most people will do is they will look at the evidence that is not there, so they don't do it or approach those authors. So eventually they're seeing the result that's not there, so it causes them to think, what do they not want? Because essentially, when you think what you do want, you have to think about using your imagination, the thing that is not there in the physical realm, and you're trying to use that imagination to cause this idea that the thing that you want to come to reality. The physical domain, the physical dimensions, the 3D world that we're trying to manifest, right? And it's odd. Think about it. If I was to think like most people, I would not get the result that I want. Think about it. But since I didn't do that, I think what I want, how I want it, and it's already happened. Therefore, I take the action, and then you see the physical, tangible results that you see. All right. Allow yourself to follow your dreams and encourage your imagination by having a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. You will discover the bewildering world of synchronicity blossom before your eyes when your imagining encapsulate your intention to manifest yourself and others. Live from the end. You must find that this second foundation for a wish-fulfilled life is the most troublesome. You're going to begin retraining your imagination to accept the idea that anything placed there isn't. for a future experience, but we represent your reality right here, right now. We are all gods. Is it not written in your law? I said you are a god. John 10:34. It's in the Bible. Your imagination, when aligned with the highest principle of your highest self, is God at work. You can make your imagination a place where you absolutely call things as you insist they be, even though they may not have appeared in the third dimension as reported by your five senses. This is where you must learn to trust thinking, live from rather than anticipation of. Hence the title of this chapter. Live it from the end. Live it from the end, for me, I was thinking about always, in order to create the future, in order to create the outcome, in order to create the results that we truly want, we have to re-engineer what we want. Let me explain. Let's say you have a vision board. Let's say you have pictures, a collage, or go card, or script that I usually write sometimes. You already know what you want, right? So you take what you do want and you reverse engineer that into your present. Okay, let me explain. The future has not happened yet, right? And most people create the outcome based upon the results, right? So since the future has not happened yet, we must reverse engineer the idea that we have and create it in our mind. And as we create it in our mind, we take the action towards it to take that. Let me explain. So let's say we create the future that we want. We write it down, we see it. But you take that idea, you bring it to the present reality. As you bring that to present reality, you take action. You got to take, most people say take action towards what feels good to you. For me, I don't take action what feels good to me. I take action what feel fear. Because, if you are afraid, you must move. You got to go where the fear is. Everything that I do is based upon what I fear. Because every time I do what I fear, it gives me new experiences. It gives me new ideas. It gives me new awareness. It gives me because within those fears is a treasure. When you face your fear, you open that treasure. It's like that treasure gives you something more valuable than just attracting the object. It gives you the experience, the lessons in it for you in your own. Because all these fears that we have will teach us something, and we have to face it each and every day, right? So take the idea that we have already written down, that future that we want, reverse engineer it to the present, and take that idea and go for it and live that life and take it each and every day. Move towards what you want, even if you're afraid. Yes, there are days where you will feel good, but there's days that will not feel good. Because think about it, all these interviews that I do, I don't feel good. Because think about it, I have fear reaching out to this author. They might say no, rejection, and I'm scared. I mean, I already got past the rejection. I said it in my video. You may reject me today, you may reject me tomorrow, but it's going to happen eventually. I mean, I don't know when. So then I do it. I'm not gonna say like, okay, I'm gonna wait for you. No, I just go for my fear, even if they say, because it's a natural reaction with human beings. They all say no because people. I was reading one of my friends' posts and say, I'm just gonna be an asshole if people keep excuse my language. People gonna say no. If someone keeps asking, I'm gonna say no. Yeah, okay. But the thing is, you may say no, but I will ask and I will get it. That's the thing. All right, Tune. He got this from he is in his book he always recite Neville Good Goddard, or if you don't know that, he have a book of Feeling is the Secret, and I have a compilation of those books. I probably should do those reviews for those people. Yeah. That which you feel yourself to be, you are, and you are given that which you are. So assume that feeling that would be yours. Were you already in the possession of your wish, and your wish must be realized. So live in that feeling of being the one you want to be, and that you shall be. No, this is more of a subconscious mind. This one, uh, Wayne Dyer said, "I have a quotation on the wall near my bed that from a recording Neville made in 1944, which reads, 'Make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of that which fulfilled.' This is why I read, practice each night and before I pray." Also, I give you what he said. He said, "Make your future dream a present fact by assuming the feeling of the which fulfilled." Every idea that we have, a future dream that we must have the feeling, but also not only have the feeling, we must also take the action in the present moment. See, the present moment people bypass, right? I think that, see, in the quantum, I remember I was reading, I was in spiritual, I was awake, becoming aware of our inner power and the quantum world. I remember I wanted to get this book, but I got a PDF one, and it was in quantum. It was about quantum physics, and that quantum physics say that the future, the present, and the past are simultaneously together, right? And if see, the thing is, people focus so much on the future and so much on the past. People fear the uh, people are afraid of the people have been damaged by the past, the fear of the future that it might happen again. So we have to retrain our mind to think thoughts that it's not about the past anymore. We have to let the past go, but we can learn from the past. The past gives us insight, experiences that we didn't want to go through, but we must go through that in order to gain awareness, experience that we can share to other people. And yeah, so the present moment is actually powerful, but we're using it the wrong way. What I mean by that, let me give you an example. Each and every day, if we try to procrastinate, each and every day is a new day, right? If we procrastinate, we're wasting that day to create the life that we want, because the past is more powerful than the future. Because think about it, the the past, the present will become the future. The past, the present will ultimately become the future, and the future will ultimately become the past. So we have to do the things today. That is the present moment, because the present moment is a blank piece in our canvas, and we can do anything we want with it. It's how we choose to focus on the present moment. If we focus on the present moment of what we do not want, we will create the result. What do we do not want? But if we focus the present moment of what do we want, we will take action on today, the present. When we move forward, we create the dream life that we want. The same thing as the interview. I do the things today to get the interview. If it does not happen, I do it again. I create each and every moment a power within. I think there is a power, a magical power within the moment. People always focus on the moment and try to have fun because they escape life. I get that life is hard and da 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 da. But we have essentially the power to create life, give birth to your dream in the present. That's what I'm trying to say. But I probably should do this. The cycle of creative process. First a thought, then a feeling, then at the hardening into a physical object. You can look at anything you have declared in your imagination, I am, and access the feeling of love in every cell of your body. You will, in time, impress it your subconscious mind. Well, all that needs in order to match your desire with your reality. Ideas are impressed on the subconscious through the medium of feelings. No idea can be impressed on the subconscious mind until it's felt. But once it's felt, be it good or bad endeavor, it must be expressed. Film is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. Your subconscious impresses and reflects it in the condition of your world. The strange and wonderful thing about your subconscious mind is that it's always set That's true what you feel to be true. Okay, let me give you an example. Uh, most people are, let's say, the thing that they never experienced before, right? Because what I do is different because I do things a little bit different. I'll give you an example. Most people, when they see when they don't have it in the physical world, but so this is a, let me, it's a little bit. All right, when we want to attract a thing, most people say the reason why they have this comfort in attracting that because they never experience it. I think that we're looking in the wrong way. Usually, think about it. If I try to let's say if I already done the interview, I already know how to do it. I mean, I get the feeling of right. No, 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 no. I think that's the wrong way to do it. Most people say that if they have not felt it in their world, they cannot manifest it in their world. I think that's wrong because you're basing on a familiar experience. Think about it. Every new experiences is going to have fear. Every new challenges is going to have fear, and you never done it before. So most people are essentially afraid, right? I'm afraid too. Every new challenges, every new things I face, I have fear. And think about it. Even if I have done so many interviews, well, I'll make it like I have done so many, but back in my mind, I have done so many interviews, right? But because I have done 16 interviews, but I still have a little bit of fear of reaching out to people because it's never been done before. I mean, it has been done, but not by me. So I remember in order to reach my dream of interviewing authors, I didn't because I remember because I'm relating to the story. People need to feel the object or the car to bring that reality into because they can't accept it because it's their subconscious mind. They can't accept it because it's too good to be true. But for me, I do. If let's say if I never experienced it before, I will test it out and try it, and it come to my experience based upon how I feel. I mean, how I think and feel. And this is where I got it from. About let's talk about. I'm trying to think. Okay, what I'm trying to say is you, the object that you're trying to attract or the lifestyle that you're trying to attract must be because in order, I think that most people are happy when they're in are growing in their life, they are progress. So try something that you've never done before. Well, not to harm you, but to be able to face your fears. You know, most people are afraid because look, we only have one life to live. Why are we gonna waste this life? Why? So the key word is here are feeling to be true. Your feeling allows your subconscious mind to spring into action. Feeling any state you wish to achieve is the experience that express on the subconscious. Once again, turning to Neville, he tells the subconscious is the womb of creation. So I remember where I got about the thoughts and feelings. It came from that book, Feeling is the Secret, or in his combination of books, he talked about how the subconscious mind is a female and that it get pregnant. The subconscious mind get pregnant through your thoughts and because your thoughts and feelings, your thoughts are male and your feelings are female, masculine, and female, permanent. I can't get it. So that's okay. Your thoughts and your feelings become one. So so basically, think it as husband and wife. They come together as one. They create. They make love, and then they create a baby boy. So the thought coupled with the feeling going to the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the womb of creation, meaning that it is a female. And as these fixed idea, as your thoughts keep repeatedly going to the womb of creation, you will create your physical reality. That's why I said, people make it too complex or too simple. Thoughts become things. isn't because of thoughts become things. Thoughts become things based upon you using the Holy Trinity. Thoughts, feeling, and action. You're all using that and go move towards what you want and creating the physical reality that you want. It receives the idea into itself through the feeling of man. It never changes the idea received, but it's always give it form. The subconscious mind accepts as true what you feel is true. Your feelings determine your reality because they impress on subconscious mind. Your attention, please. This is the fourth. Never let your attentiveness to what you're in the process of manifesting be sidetracked by external pressure of any kind. When you decide and begin to use the information presented here to live a wish fulfilled life, if I let other people judgment or ideas based upon saying, "Oh, it won't happen," about how just because the author is unreachable, no, I won't do it. But I was like, okay, you believe that because um they essentially have a low level of what I won't say that, but awareness because I already have done it, so I know what is possible. If I already done it, so and since I already approached it, so it's already been done. Like I mean, it's possible. They're just the things people based upon authors or best-selling authors, CEOs, top people, celebrity are gods. But okay, it's 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 complicated. You're going to encounter a great deal of notice in a variety of forms. Friends and associates will offer unembodied opinions concerning this new you and what you're attempting to manifest. When you trust yourself to decide what is to be your destiny, you don't allow your external to discourage or influence you. What you place your attention on is your burning desire and your intense yearning combined with intention to make that your reality. Never allow your outer circumstances to deflect you from your desire. Too many people are afraid of what people say. I mean, look, even if you're afraid of what people say, just do it. Face your fear. And most people want to prove people wrong. Just do that too. If you want to do that, most people want to do that. I used to do that, but now I'm just. See, for me, I think that I was back then. I was angry at people because why can't you accept the new me? A long time ago, when I didn't get into the law of attraction or personal development or the spiritual awareness world, I was praised a lot, because I did the right thing, because I graduated from boarding school and I did what everybody else told me to do, and but the thing is, at first it felt good, but then after I came into the personal development and law of attraction, I was like, whoa, why I gotta like get praise from everybody else? I mean, it felt good, but I mean, doing the thing that you want the most feel more better than praise. I mean, I know that everyone want praise, right? But I'm saying like, when I show people, the secret and the movie The Secret, and I show people the law of attraction, people think it's weird and law of attraction because they live their whole life believing in the physical reality. So they let that physical reality determine their future. Yeah, people let physical reality determine, or what they know determine their future. What they have in their mind, what they have, their perception, the knowledge, control their future. Whatever your perception is, whether it's limited knowledge, perception based upon your environment, it's going to limit your outcome. So, in order to change your outcome, in order to change your results, you must, in order to change your outcome and results inside first, in order to create the outside. Because I stop getting praise from people who get praised me because I am destructing the value that they all have. It's society. Baby, society don't believe in these things. Only a small percentage of people who know these things and know what I'm talking about. That's why I like these people. I like to talk about attraction. I like to talk about how all these ideas that we could have been learned when we were kids, and we never did. We never learned about ourselves. We never learned things that create and blossom create the kid, because kids are like a genius, and people tell the kid, no, you're stupid, 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 mistake, da 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 da, and now the kid believe in that, and the kid take persona of it, mask, and now it cause the kid create results that the kid did not want based upon what people say. That's terrible. That's what I think. I mean, that's terrible of how people, I wish people can change, but I can't do that. I can't change people. Only I can change myself. I wish that people are more easily are open to ideas, but because since they grow up with these ideas, they're closed. That's why I don't like talking to closed-minded people. They close off to the world of great ideas that could have changed their life, but they close it off. And I'm sad. I'm sad for my friends. They close off, because you know the I think school teaches you based upon physical reality. They teaches school or your parents or your friends teach you about life based on the physical world. We live in physical world, but we live in the spiritual world. But we live in a world that is influenced by our thoughts and feelings and behavior, and that the universe responds to that. But people essentially teach you what the results and experiences based upon what they see and saw. But if they knew what we know or what I know, they could have changed their life based upon changing their mind. It's all about changing your mind. Once you change your mind, once you change your inner mind, you change your outer results. You know, if I didn't, clean all the gunk that I have, I wouldn't be able to, back in the past, I felt bad about myself. I felt uh, I was unworthy. I was low self esteem. I have low self esteem, and I wouldn't be able to manifest the authentic. That's that's way above my head and like whoa. But anyway, you can achieve your dream, but essentially you have to face your fear. Subscribe to my channel and like my videos. And I know I give you good information. That's how you get your wish fulfilled. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.